question comes from Wendy. Wendy writes, I have a 5-year-old mare that is all go. She does well at the walk and trot, but gets racy at the lope. I know I need to get her to lope to be a controlled speed before I let her run. I'm not sure if it's her, me, or her saddle. I've rode her in so many circles trying to get her to relax and slow down that I think her and I are both dizzy. The mare has a lot of go and loves to run. Getting a good whoa has been a challenge and is something we still work on every day. She is never uncontrollable, just very difficult to get her into a nice, relaxed canter. She is somewhat mutton withered, and I know that my saddle is not the best fit. I just haven't found one that fits better. There are occasionally dry spots just behind the wither, about the size of a silver dollar. Without recording myself, it's hard to say if it's me. I try to stay relaxed and not lean forward. Any suggestions? Thanks for your question, Wendy. It's quite possible that your saddle is playing a part in your problem. Pain can make a horse nervous, and it's possible she carries her body in a tense, inverted position to try to escape the discomfort your saddle may be causing to her shoulders and back. We're going to be offering an article on saddle fit in the future, but until then I highly recommend getting your hands on a copy of the Western Horses Pain-Free Back and Saddle Fit book. Now, no matter how many other things you do to fix this problem, if saddle fit is part of the issue, then you're spinning your wheels. So first and foremost, make it a top priority to rule out or resolve any possible discomfort or pain. Now, it's true that some horses have more natural go than others. When we end up with too much go, we usually are also dealing with some anxiety issues like you described. So, to address this problem, we must help our horse become more balanced physically and mentally. Physical tension and mental tension are almost always found together. I'm going to take you through several steps to resolve this issue, and my husband's ropehorse.com, who came to us with the very issues you described, is going to help me demonstrate how it's possible to achieve relaxation and quality movement. Remember that speed increases the release of adrenaline in the body, which contributes to the horses being high-strung and nervous. We have to work our horses at speed to prepare them for competition, but consider incorporating less fast work and more slow work in your day-to-day routines. A second tip is that anytime a horse exhibits an overwhelming desire to move their feet, it's often because deep down they don't feel safe. There's some confusion in this area. Many horses that people think are excited are often really feeling insecure. A horse that feels comfortable and confident will be relatively relaxed, focused, and willing to stand still. So whether your horse is dancing around at the trailer, or pacing in their pen, or if they don't want to stand when you're riding them, instead of doing nothing or trying to force them to stand still, which can actually increase their fear, instead help them move their feet a lot. If a horse has a need to move, when you help them do that, and maybe even more than they want, they often take a big sigh and lick their lips, and you're providing relaxation naturally by meeting your horse's need. To describe the next few tips, let's go to the arena. This is what .com looked like before I used the techniques I'm going to describe next. Number 3 is that the key to vertical flexion and relaxed movement is lateral flexion and relaxed movement. This means that if your horse gets tense and choppy vertically through the body or up and down, then work on doing lots of lateral flexion and movement, which is side to side. It's nearly impossible for a horse to have this up and down tension in his body while they are flexed laterally to the side. You can flex their neck laterally, ask them to move laterally at a side pass, disengage the hindquarters, or ask for full body lateral flexion on a circle starting on the ground and then also doing all these things under saddle as well. Number 4 is that, Wendy, you're on the right track with doing lots of circles, but to be as effective as possible, make plenty of changes in direction, such as figure eights. When you make a request to change speed or direction, it better establishes your leadership in the relationship with your horse, which has a huge calming effect. Also, the smaller the circle, the more likely your horse will actually start wanting to stop. Think of it this way. If I was going to go jogging and I had to do it in an arena in small circles, I'd run out of motivation very fast. as opposed to if I was jogging down a gravel road in a wide open space. So for a horse that has too much go, focus more on smaller circles, and for a horse with not enough go, do more larger circles and straight lines. So circles can really be helpful. Just make sure to get your horse mentally involved with lots of changes in direction and encourage him to slow down naturally by making those circles small. In addition, if you haven't already, number 5 is that it's a good idea to train your horse to slow down and stop based on your body language without having to only rely on the reins. To do so, start out at a walk and then let out a big breath, sit deep in the saddle and say, "Whoa." If your horse doesn't stop, pick up the reins and back him up several steps. Repeat this until your horse consistently responds at a walk, and only then move up to asking him at a trot, lope, and so on. When you put a whoa on your horse like this, you're adding to your ways of communicating with him and creating less resistance on the reins. Remember, the more you use your reins, the less they use their brains. So you want your horse connected and paying attention to your body language. But if we're not careful, we inadvertently train our horses to ignore us. The better they become at paying attention to our energy, the more tools you have for helping your horse relax in their body when you do so in yours. Number 6, next is you're learning how to help your horse relax. Don't put them into situations they aren't ready for yet. The more a horse displays an overwhelming desire to go and is tense and on the muscle, the better they learn to operate this way. So gradually develop your ability to create relaxation and quality movement and then build back up into pressure situations. The very instant you feel your horse getting tense, go back to some kind of lateral flexion or movement or both. If you're ever in a situation that doesn't allow for figure eights right at the moment you feel that tension, you might do a little lateral neck flexion and mini hip disengagements depending on the environment. When you're proactive and don't let your horse go there, you're actually rewiring your horse's old habits and creating new ones that involve quality, relaxed way of moving. Wendy, these tips are the exact things I'm using to help rehabilitate.com. Keep in mind that some of these very go-y horses do take more time investment because of their sensitivity, but that same sensitivity is what contributes to them often being such phenomenal athletes. So hang in there. Let's review these 6 secrets to relaxation and quality movement. This is what .com looked like after I did all the things I described in this video. He's slightly elevated in the front end, which allows him to reach deep underneath himself with his hind legs. He's softly flexed at the pole, nice and round over his top line, and best of all, I'm not having to force him or hold him in this position. As you can see, he's on a loose rein. .com is a super talented horse, but only when we help balance him physically and mentally to create relaxation and quality movement can we reveal his greatest ability and potential. Even more importantly, when we do, we're making his life as a performance horse much more stress-free and enjoyable. So tell me, was this Q&A helpful? What other techniques for relaxing and slowing down horses with too much go have helped you? Here at barrelracingtips.com, we are not into keeping secrets. So send this video to your friends and share below what's worked for you.